I'm doing this live. Hopefully it'll get out to you guys. I was talking about Lil Wayne yesterday, and I got a little out of control. I started saying, well, certain people who listen to it, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? I kind of resent on that. But you know what? I was just upset because I didn't like the fact that this guy who has loyal fans says he doesn't see racism. You know? And I gotta call it what I see it. Lil Wayne's a cone, man. There's no doubt about it. He's an absolute cone. You want to tell me... Oh, okay, I see you over there. You want to tell me... You want to tell me that you've been doing your thing for the last 20... Really? You may not have been around racism, but because you probably didn't see it wherever you lived at later on. But don't sit there and say you don't see it. It's obvious. It's everywhere. You know? Especially in 2016. That's appalling to me to even say that. This is the same dude who sit there and talk about beating up pussy like Emmett Till. Now, you couldn't get more racist than that, coming from a guy who said he doesn't see racism. You know? He was on a show called Undisputed a few days ago with Skip Bayless and Sterling Sharp. Sterling Sharp gave one of the most powerful speeches about race in this country. The most powerful speech I heard this year. On the same show, I don't know if it's the same episode, but on the same show, Skip Bayless interviewed Lil Wayne. And Lil Wayne, because he actually does concerts where the majority of his fans, the vast majority of his fans are white. He think everything is cookie and cream and nice and all of that shit. Like somebody said, this is fact. White people have always liked black music. They might call it color music and race music and all the other bullshit. But white people have always been in our music. They try to copy our music for years anyway. And they're still doing it. Matter of fact, some of the biggest names that pop are doing black music now. A lot of them are. They actually had the top hits now. Justin Bieber, Robin Thicke, Miley Cyrus, Britney Spears. The list goes on and on. You know. But this fool talking about when he sees people in his concerts, he don't see racism. I'm like, really? It has nothing to do with it. They just like to go to your concerts. You know. But I was watching a video from another YouTuber. I'm not gonna say his name, where they actually tried to defend Lil Wayne. They're saying, oh, because he made a certain amount of money, he's out the element where he don't see racism because he had been in the game so long. After a while, he doesn't see racism. He never actually really experienced it. I'm not buying that. I don't give a damn how much money make. Look at the president. Look at Tyler Perry. Look at Skip Gates. Look at all the guys who have been of prominence, have been successful, highly successful black men. They've all experienced racism. Racism doesn't mean not experienced racism don't mean because you make a certain amount of money you never see it. That's not true. That's a false narrative. And I can't believe one of the most prominent people on YouTube, who I respect very much so, had the nerve to try to defend that shit. Try to defend him on this. No. That's a double standard. You know? I don't care if you as poor as a dog or filthy rich. If you black in America, you bound to see some racism. You know? And what he said, there's no defense for as far as I'm concerned. And you know he's lying because the one thing that he said was, the only thing I see, and he named his kids off, he said, that's what I see. So he sees what he wants to see. He deals with what he wants to deal with. Think about it. The guys who help run his promotions and all that, some of those guys are white. You know he only going to say but so much. You know, most of these rappers aren't going to talk about, ain't going to badmouth, ain't going to try to take no political stance. There's a couple of them that want, a couple of them that was a problem recently who kind of downplayed the situations as well. That's the reason why I respect Colin Kaepernick, man. Now, it doesn't matter about whether he was first string or second string. Now, he's a second string quarterback now. I'm still not sure how or why, but, you know, I kind of know why, but then again, I'm not going to go into all the details about it. But he's a second string quarterback talking about that. All right? And people say, oh, he only did it so he could try to get attention because he's a second string quarterback. No, bullshit. He did it to get attention about what's going on in this country. He brought it to a national prominence that needed to be done. I applaud him for it. I applaud him so much. I actually got a jersey coming in the mail today. And I will be wearing it throughout the weekend. As a matter of fact, I'll probably broadcast it on more likely it will be prominently seen on my show tonight. So be on the lookout for it. But anyway, I'm saying I will be wearing it. You know, because I respect it. Matter of fact, they said the sales of Colin Kaepernick's jerseys have went through the roof in the past month. I actually was going to get that jersey within about a couple of days after I first heard about it. And by the time I got ready to do that, of course, the sales went through the roof. Yep. But actually, they went down. The one I'm getting is a black one, and I think actually the price dropped a little bit. If you go to NFL.com and try to get that same jersey, it's double the price. Yep, I've already checked. So it just amazes me that, you know, that powers to be, people like Trump in this country, when you talk about issues of, you know, of race, they want to shut you down. You know, they want to be able to control the narrative and talk about issues like that whenever they feel like it, not when you feel it's needed. That's complete BS. You know, but Lil Wayne, who I don't understand, lived in one of the most racial areas of the country, could honestly sit there and say what he said. You know, and people are trying to defend. You can't defend what he said. I'm sorry, you cannot defend it. And some people are saying, "Oh well, maybe he don't see it the way other people see it." Racism. You either see it as bad or whatever. You know, he don't see. He said he don't see it, but what he's doing is deflecting. What he's trying to do is, to be honest, for lack of a better word, he don't want to deal with the subject. That's really what he's doing. That's why he said he don't see it, because he don't want to deal with it, and that's a fact. He don't want to alienate his quote-unquote white fans. I just figured that out. And that's exactly why Lil Wayne will not talk about it, and y'all know it. It ain't about this, well, because he made a certain amount of money, he won't see it because he's in a different area, and the more money you make, the less the racism you have to deal with. That's a bunch of bullshit. That's bullshit. That's the biggest bunch of horseshit I've ever heard. I could not believe the guy that said that. I was totally... And the reason why I'm not saying, because I ain't trying to get no YouTube beef with nobody. You know? I could, but I'm not trying to. But I just could not believe this guy said that. I was shocked, because I thought, I had a lot more respect for him than that. And apparently he's not as intelligent as I thought he was. To sit there, and try to defend it. But like I said again, people, there used to be a time where people thought when you made more money that you wouldn't have to deal with a lot of bullshit. No, you still do. You know, that's even if you move out the hood. At some point, you gotta go back. You know, even when I moved from Cleveland 30 years ago. And what I had people from Cleveland tell me, my relatives, blood relatives told me, oh, you forgot where you came from. I'm like, no, I didn't get where I came from, because I go back there almost every year. And I actually send money home to my folks whenever possible, which I do. But it's just the fact that because you decide to do something different and you decide to move ahead with your life. It's not that I wanted to move away from Cleveland. I loved my city, man. I loved being in Cleveland and then Cleveland. I wanted to stay in Cleveland. I wanted to move a little bit in the suburb of Cleveland. You know, I didn't exactly want to move too far away from the city. My goal at the time, I wanted to move to East Cleveland, which is all it is Cleveland. It's Cleveland in the suburbs. It's just an extension of Cleveland. That's all it is. But the thing was, there wasn't no jobs. Why would I want to sit there with no jobs at? It's like sitting on a plane with no pilot and not knowing how to fly. You know, and having a parachute and not be able to figure out how to open it. You got to figure something out. You know? In other words, if I had the parachute, if that's all I got to get out that mug, I'm going to try to do what I can to survive. Well, this same applies here. Okay? I can't sit there and live in the hood and no jobs available. I got to go where the jobs are. I have to. You know? That's how that works. You got to go where the economy is going to be able to, you're going to be, to make a long story short, if the economy is in a location where you can survive better than you can where you were, then you go where the economy is going to thrive at. You know? That's what I did. The difference is when I left Cleveland in 86, I got in the military. I finished by fall of 89. Alright? I decided to stay out in the DMV. That's what the opportunities was for me. I was 20... How old was I? I was 24. 20. What was it? Yeah, about 24 years old. You know, so I had to go where the opportunities was for me. I couldn't wait for the opportunity to come. I had to go to where it was. That's all it was to it. I had to. It was tough for me. I ain't gonna lie. The first few months through the first year I was down here, it was tough staying here. It was tough not being in Cleveland. You know, I grew up in Cleveland. I spent my entire childhood in Cleveland, pretty much. And I didn't know of any other home other than Cleveland until I've been out here. I've been out here for almost 30 years. But I had to go where the opportunities was. I saw in 1986 and around 1989 that the opportunities in Cleveland were dwindling. When I got down here in D.C., everywhere I went, we're hiring. Everywhere I went. You know, I was working 3 jobs. You know. But you know, as I continue to find better opportunities, racism was there. You know, I still saw it. That's why I'm very surprised Lil Wayne saying what he's saying. But you have to understand the fact that Lil Wayne also, he coons with a camera. This is the same dude who sit there, hold up a phone at a liquor store, and pours wine over it. Okay? And he like giggling. You know, I mean, come on, man. I'm just like I said, I'm not a fan of his. I won't buy his records. You know, to the fans out there buy his records, I don't know what y'all listen to, what y'all think is so special about him. I don't get it. I really don't get it. You know. But like I said, I played a song of his called Millie. I still don't know what the fuck he said in that record. I have no clue what he said. I played that record with somebody. I have no clue what he said in that record. I really don't. far as his story with him and Birdman, with the money and other stuff, like, I haven't figured that out either. I don't know nothing about it. I ain't gonna talk about it. What I will know is that Lil Wayne, for lack of a better word, is borderline coon. I will say that, and I'm stating that, because he is. You gonna tell me that you don't see racism, right? Because the majority of your fans, or a lot of your fans, are white. That don't mean it don't exist. And because the fact that you make really good living being a rapper don't mean they ain't out there. That means white people who are hanging on to you or whatever probably just want to be your friend because of one thing. Because you know how to make the green. If you wasn't making the green, believe me, you'd be a lot worse off, bro. Real talk. It's DJ Wolf. I just had to get that off my chest, man. I wanted to revise a little bit because I don't want people to, think, I'm being harsh on anybody because they buy his records. You buy his records. That's your prerogative. I just like to know what was so special about Lil Wayne's music that make people buy his records. That I don't understand. I'm working on getting Blog Talk Radio back on it. Yeah, I know. I keep taking it off, put it back on, take it off, put it back on. But I'm having so many problems with Skype that I'm having more problems with Skype than I am Blog Talk Radio. Trying to work with it on Spreaker. And it's a mess. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a live feed between Spreaker and Blog Talk Radio. I'm hoping to get it on tonight sometime. But I will be on tonight nevertheless. Because I see all these other guys been on a lot lately, and I haven't been doing much. I've been sporadically doing stuff. But I need to do a live talk. Hopefully if my number's still on tonight and I can get back in Blog Talk Radio, it should be 347-426-3596. That's 347-426-3596. I'm surprised I still remember that number. But anyway, just want to let you guys know. Hopefully I should be on. I got a lot of TV to catch up on tonight too. Damn. But I got all weekend to do that. And the games and stuff. But that's all I got, guys. I just wanted to get that off my chest. I'll be talking about that. More about Lil Wayne, Donald Trump. Well, man, I could do a whole show on Donald Trump by himself. And actually, that may happen. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got. Of course, questions and comments in the description box right here for all to hear on YouTube, which is for all to hear TV. I can be reached on Twitter at For All To Hear. And my new, if you don't already know, well, I've had this email. This email account for a while. You can email me at djwolfonline@yahoo.com. That's djwolfonline@yahoo.com. All right, guys. That's all I got to say for right now. I got more to say about this and other stuff on the back burner tonight on DJ Wolf Live. Talk to you later.